Hey, it's mrXirish here with another Napoleon Total War online battle gameplay. Today we're featuring a 1v1 battle between myself, mrXirish, commanding the forces of the United Netherlands, against Splatterboy, who is commanding the French forces. We are on the map Italian Grassland. The only rules for the battle, for this 1v1 battle, are just no fixed artillery units. So other than that, no limits on cavalry, artillery, or anything like that, or light infantry. We'll quickly look at my army today. I have 3 units of normal line infantry over here, 3 units of 7-pounder howitzers for my artillery. I have my Dutch flanqueurs, I believe, my light infantry in front, and my 2 or 3 other battalions of light infantry kind of just to the right of my light infantry, so you can see how I kind of have my formation here. Just my light infantry in front, with my 2 units of light infantry on their sides to form squares if necessary. And I have 3 units of cavalry, some cabrionaires, I believe. Dutch cabrionaires must be, and 2 more of those units. And I really did upgrade them a lot because United Netherlands do not have any lancers, and these are the best units with charge bonus. So I don't have the biggest army today, but we'll see how things go. We'll look at Splatterboy's army today. He has some voltigeurs advancing there, some light skirmishers, some lancers, cavalry advancing the force as well. You can see my howitzers are doing some work on them. He has some fusiliers advancing on the right by this building. You can see he has some more fusiliers with the 6th Regiment of Legendary Infantry. He has some fusiliers way in the distance back there. Maybe he forgot about this, I don't know. Marshal Ney is his general today. He has some artillery on foot. And I do believe he has the Old Guard. Yep, he has 2 units here, the Old Guard on his left. Well, that's militia right there, but that is the Old Guard. I think he does have a unit somewhere else. Obviously, since we are on Italian grassland, there's a lot of foresty, wooded areas, so sometimes you might not be able to see a unit, and that you will see that happens in the battle often. I was talking to Splatterboy. He just joined, not joined, but started playing online Napoleon, he said, about a week ago, so this is probably one of his earlier battles, but he had a pretty good skill rating, probably from offline campaign, so an interesting battle ahead. So far, we are advancing. I'm advancing my cavalry on the left just to kind of see how he would react. I think we have the same amount of cavalry. I think he has 3 units and I have 3, so I'll probably just try to get rid of his and then have some units of cavalry back there to harass his troops in the behind. One thing I've really improved on is I used to always just use my cavalry to kind of attack infantry more and any battered infantry units, but I think that's better saved for the end of the battle now. My main goal for almost every battle is to get rid of their cavalry as soon as possible, because then if you do, you can always just use your cavalry to harass his units in the back, and that's always one of my favorite things. It's nothing like when you're fighting and then there's a bunch of enemy horse units in your rear. So I'm advancing my left wing of line infantry, and I'll bring a unit of 7-pounder howitzer. I think I accidentally deployed them. I'm going to remount them, and I'll have them follow behind. Usually for every kind of brigade of troops, I like to have to give them 1 unit of artillery. I'm doing the same thing on my right, where I'm advancing 1 unit of 7-pounder howitzers and 3 units of line infantry. I'm going to put them right in this kind of village here by that house. They're not going to go in the house. I like to go in buildings when the enemy has artillery, because I always hate losing like an entire 400 or 500 men just because of that. So they will start firing in a bit. My center is still firing. I'm firing on some units he has in the forest back here with some fusiliers, excuse me. I already got a good portion of his lancers. I got about 16 on his left, and I got some lancers over here as well. My main goal is really to lay down some artillery on his Old Guard, as I really don't want to have to face off against him. We are in ultra settings, so we have the max size of infantry, kind of nice. Let's see if he's firing his artillery. Looks like they're not firing. Maybe they are. I'm pretty sure their range is farther than my howitzers, I believe. I'm actually going to turn up the sound really quick, sorry about that. And I'm advancing my center as well with my Dutch flanqueurs, and I'll advance their howitzer as well. So I did not attack with my cavalry on the left. I brought the other unit of my horses on, so all 3 of my units of cavalry are on the left. But I don't think he has any horse units on his right, so I don't really like to it's kind of a waste of horses just to attack. Get rid of 1 unit of line infantry, in my opinion. if you have the opportunity to get rid of some more of his cavalry units. And we're going to go ahead and advance here until kind of some more fighting really gets underway. Alright, back at the battle here. Not too much has happened. I've really just been moving up all my units and laying down some artillery fire in his units that are in range. What I'm doing right here is trying to get rid of all of his artillery, because if you remember, he had a unit of old guard over here, but they went into this forest and they're separated by kind of a ridge or a little hump of land from this kind of corridor. So what I'm going to try to do is run all 3 of my cavalry units and get rid of his artillery. I've really tried to shield his voltigeurs and his infantry over here, but I'm going to try to wipe out, even if I lose almost all of my cavalry, I'm going to try to wipe out all of his infantry. Hopefully he doesn't get any grape shot. We'll see how that goes. You can see he's trying to move over some not light, but normal line infantry to counter them. And it looks like they will not be able to get any grape shot off, so that's good. You can see I lost about 15 horses there, but I was able to get past them and get rid of his artillery. That's 1 artillery down. You can see he's bringing back his old guard. And at the same time this is happening, he's also advancing his center a bit, with his fusiliers and his voltigeurs. So now we'll get some volley fire exchange going on between my left wing of light infantry and my light center of light infantry. You can see me fighting against his artillery. I already got rid of 1 unit there with my carabiniers. Now I'm fighting against his lancers. Luckily, I already got rid of 30 of them from artillery fire from previous shelling, so I didn't have to face off too much of his French cavalry. And so we have 3 now cavalry units against 1 unit of lancers, so good there. He's bringing his lancers now, or not his lancers, his old guard. Luckily, since he did that, now they're in better range to fire, so I can keep trying to shell his old guard. That's actually a unit of militia, but 1 unit of old guard. Now I'm going to retreat these units so they don't keep getting covering fire, or getting volley fire from these French infantry troops. So we'll check out what's going over here on the battle. He's been advancing. He's got some skirmishers here. He's advancing his fusiliers right there. I'm obviously really doing well, or positioned well here, since you can see I have really no major threat on my right, because all these units are trying to chase my cavalry. I can just swing these units around and flank the units he brought in front of my center. I got some morale lacking here, but not too many problems. So I got 1 or 2. I think that was a cavalry unit in the distance that's running. And my artillery is right here, so I can really lay down some artillery fire on his close units. Now I'm fighting against some of his lancers that I also, I think they were some French cavalry I was able to hit early in the battle. Instead of a full-size French cavalry unit. You can see a lot of his units are getting heavy losses. He does have these skirmishers that are not getting hit too hard, but their range is very good. You can see my units swinging around here, flanking. Able to hit them from below. Kind of obviously at a height disadvantage, but still, nevertheless, it's, I have the numbers as my advantage. And these units were kind of, lacking, so I brought them into this house here, and I had no problem with that. Since I got rid of all of his artillery, I have no chance of losing these units. So I brought these units in the house, and I'm now using canister shot or grape shot with this unit of 7-pounder howitzers. Hopefully they don't charge too much, and if they do charge, I'll be able to lay down some covering fire from these 2 units in the house. You can see all the shots going all the way in the distance. My 2 cavalry units are back here, kind of trotting away, but he's bringing his some of his old guard units and his light legendary infantry units. So they'll be getting tired, and they'll be more importantly taken away from the major part of the battle. So his army is kind of separated. Getting some volley fire between my line infantry and his militia in the forest. My howitzers doing a really good job just laying down fire on these units in the forest, and these skirmishers in front of my center. I think this is not rare, but only a few times in my last couple battles I've actually used a house upgraded really to my advantage, or really for a solid purpose. You can see my grape shot doing a good job there, and there are some French units that just emerged from the forest now. They must have been hiding, so I'm going to go ahead and attack them with my cavalry units with a swing around and hit them in the rear. You can see Marshal Ney, I believe, is in the forest there. So hopefully I'll maybe lay down 1 or 2 rounds of howitzer fire to get rid of their Marshal. I'm bringing all of my light infantry, my Dutch flankers, to swing around to kind of be the left to this, well, basically just to lay down volley fire against his approaching Fusiliers. I don't know if he sees my artillery, because I could just lay down a completely lethal shot, a grape shot right here. I think he actually does, but so I'm going to have to, they might force retreat. And the reason I'm putting them here is I don't have to worry about my flank over here, because I'm advancing my 2 units of Dutch line infantry onto this hill. They'll be able to take care of these voltigeurs, and this, maybe not take care of the Marshal Ney, but they'll lay down some fire. Because the only thing going on here is my line infantry against some militia and some approaching skirmishers, so that's not too good. Even worse than skirmishers in forests. You can see I just took out about 10 of their men and their general staff, but Marshal Ney is still alive. Some kind of awkward fire going on here at a weird angle. It's way too close than it would actually ever happen, I think, but still doing a good job. I gotta hurry up and attack his voltigeurs because he's hitting my Dutch flankers, flanking them sort of from above. There's my cavalry advancing through the forest. Now his unit of legendary infantry and old guard is advancing toward the main scene and part of the battle. And my units are flanking here and attacking his skirmishers. My general staff, or my 7-pounder howitzer, is doing okay too. And actually what I did, since I think I'm actually going to pull back my line infantry here soon, because he's got some skirmishers and some militias, so I don't know, they might defeat him, I don't know. But I'm actually going to take all of my units from this unit of 7-pounder howitzers and bring them, because they're kind of unprotected, and bring them to take command of the artillery unit over here. That was wiped out by those French Fusiliers. So that'll happen in a little bit, but they'll run over there and take care of this, take command of this artillery battery, because that's obviously in a much better position to lay down some really close fire onto the French forces. I moved another unit of troops that returned from battle in the rear, put them in this house as well, so this house is serving a very nice purpose here with 300 men laying down fire on these French units that are approaching. And I pulled back my light infantry units that were exchanging volley between these Fusiliers because my other units were flanking over here, and I don't know. We're gonna have some tough infantry coming ahead with these the old guard and the legendary infantry. He does have a unit over here of Fusiliers, but I don't know if he knows they're there. Splatter Boy, that is. There's another unit I have with some Dutch flankers that have returned. I'll have them return to battle in a bit. And I took my units off from the hill because they were just going to get flanked by the old guard. I did not want to let that happen. I'm really trying to get his general, because that's always, when you are losing a battle, it's always a big thing to not have a general for no morale boosts or stuff like that. You can see my artillery unit running over all 24, or 20 of them, excuse me, to try to take command of that artillery battle on my left. He has some French units there, but my units in the house took care of them. I pulled back my line of infantry units that were right here as they were about to get flanked. And now my 7-pounder howitzers and my other unit of artillery that soon will be active can lay down fire on his remaining forces just kind of in the center of the map on top of this hill. Fortunately, I do not have any cavalry left, I believe. Nope, I do not. But those cavalry did good. I was able to wipe out all of his artillery, his cavalry, and I was able to distract to prevent his old guard and another unit of advanced infantry from joining the main scene of the battle, and that was happening. So good job of my cavalry there. I only had 3 units. Usually I like to have like 4 or 5, but actually I'm wrong. I do have 1 unit remaining of cavalry of Carabiniers, 14 of them. So what I'm actually going to do is bring them over to the right and get rid of his skirmishers, because they get really annoying after a while. Even though there's only like 20 of them, they can be pretty effective when obviously I'm not in range. I'm not even hitting them, so they're not losing men. And I'm going to take the men out of this house as they're not really under threat. I still don't know if he knows he has that unit of infantry back there. So I'm going to bring them around and set them up right here so they'll flank some of the French forces over here as well. I don't know how my units are doing on ammo. I probably have some units that are going to run out of ammo soon. But my 7-pounder howitzer in the center is doing a very good job. All 24 men still remaining. militia there. I don't know why his militia has survived this whole time. But they have. You can see I'm just focusing all my artillery on his old guard, because I really want to get rid of that. You can see my units moving out of the house. I don't know what this unit of Dutch flankers are doing. I think I must have not had them in guard mode. Let's see, look at his remaining army is just some units of Fusiliers, some militia over here, his old guard, legendary infantry, Marshal Ney in the rear, and that unit of Fusiliers over there that I don't know if he knows is still there. So now you can see my artillery has taken command of this battery here, still doing a very good job there. I think I lost 3 men on the way, but they'll still be effective, and you can see how much closer they are from this artillery battery compared to the one way over here. So there's my, I think his Voyageurs or Voltigeurs skirmishers charged before my Carbineers got there, so they just kind of kept attacking, and now they are retreating as I think I was kind of distracted from what was going on over here. You can see all my units are out of the house now, so they are really getting some good volley fire against his Fusiliers, flanking him on his right. My howitzers still doing a good job in the center there. They've lost 3 men, but still doing good. His units are still, morale-wise, doing good. Mine are kind of lacking, but I have my general here. Who can, my 3-star general, David Hedrick Chase. Sorry if I mispronounced the Dutch general. So I'll advance my left here and continue to kind of do a closer flank on his remaining units. Let's see, his old guard only has 70 men remaining, so not too bad. Looks like he's doing a charge. So what I actually tried to do here, it wasn't very smart because I didn't know if my howitzer unit here was ready to fire, but I retreated my units and turned this to grape shot, hoping that he would lay down some grape shot on these encroaching units, but I think he just fired, and you can see right now there's reloading. So I'm going to unfortunately lose that artillery battery. But right now I'm bringing around my left to get rid of this unit of Fusiliers here, and then just, I think what I'm going to do is put them right here, and I'm not going to actually, I'm going to toggle off free fire, because I don't want to get any friendly fire here, so I'll let my units just kind of go at it here in the forest, and then they'll be waiting, and if my units start to retreat, I'll just release their volley fire. So we'll see what's going on in the forest here. And my general right nearby, I was able to give them a morale boost right when his infantry charged, so they can launch their charge bonus. Looks like he's realized that unit of Fusiliers in the distance. He's approaching, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Bringing back my general for safety. Now I can start to lay down some fire against the remaining French units. Might get some friendly fire, but that's okay. I'm pulling back this unit of line infantry as well. Still 130 remaining, so it's a solid Dutch line infantry unit. The old guard is charging, their morale is lacking, and I still have my general alive. I believe I finally killed their general, Marshal Ney, so, yep. So they have no morale boost options. So his unit that returned is already retreating, and I think all the units here are retreating, so that should bring it into the battle, and it will. So that's a victory for mrXirish against Splatterboy. I had 1,700 men deployed, he had 1,800, I killed 1,500, and he killed 1,000 men of my forces. Look at my unit stats here. Looks like the Dutch flankers with 172 kills are the battle unit of the day, that unit of light infantry. So that is a victory for mrXirish over Splatterboy on the map Italian Grassland and Napoleon Total War Online. So other than that, this is mrXirish. Thanks for watching. I'll have another video out soon.